always win the featured offer. What up, White Tea? Just getting started. You know the vibes. My White Tea intros have just gone down because I don't like doing the full intro well on TikTok. But how many clicks and no sales for a keyword before add it to a negative target? So I wouldn't add it to a negative. Oh, wait, I have to stop this. Oh, I had to stop the music. Forgot I just started the White Tea live. Anyways, he's doing arbitrage, Alex. How many clicks, no sales for before I add it to a negative? So I wouldn't add it as a negative, but you would just pause the keyword. And that's like 20 clicks, but you would want to circle back to that keyword. And the reason behind that is like, especially if it's a main keyword, you can't just forget about a main keyword forever. Nima, thank you so much for the follow. How do we get started? So just this week or last week, I posted a full step-by-step video on how to get started selling on Amazon. Also, if you look up on TikTok how to sell on Amazon, you'll likely see a few of my videos pop up at the top. And then, but step one would be creating a seller account. Step two, getting a product research software and finding a potential product to sell. I have lots of videos on all of those steps, including, like I said, getting started, as well as how to find products. His prices are too high. Yeah, that's what I was saying, is featured offer is usually going to be based on price. Any RN advice for going to stores nearby that in that process? No, Carter. My advice is don't do that. Start your own brand, bro. The keyword is from an automatic campaign. How can I pause it? Okay, in that case, adding it as a negative, but you wouldn't want it as a negative forever. Remember that. Do we need an LLC? No, you can start as a sole proprietor, Nima. I started my very first brand as a sole proprietor, but I switched it to an LLC, and then all of the new brands that I start now, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but that was a gnarly one. All the brands that I start now are with an LLC. Should I pay $225 to take pictures of my product? That's not the worst price, Ovia. Personally, if you have a good iPhone or camera, like a newer iPhone, probably like 15 and up, or just a decent camera, I would just get a good quality photo box and take the pictures yourself. The magic is in the editing. If you and I both had the same exact product and we're using the same exact graphic designer, I took pictures in a photo box, you hired a professional photographer to do your images, send them to the same graphic designer, our images would literally come out the same. Would you recommend someone outside the US, such as UK, to sell in the US or stick to the UK? The UK is a solid market. Like UK and Germany are going to be the second and third best Amazon markets in the world right now, but US is number one. If you really, really, really didn't want to sell in the US, then yes, you can launch in one of those two markets. But if you wanted access to the largest customer base that Amazon has, I would say US. I have a lot of students in Germany and UK who both sell in the US market. Can I do this from outside of the US, or do I need to handle inventory directly? I'm located in the Caribbean. I actually have a student who's in the Caribbean, Satch, and no, you do not need to be, you can be outside of the US. Amazon allows over 130 something countries to sell on the US platform from their country. And that's the beauty of what I do. I don't touch inventory. It's not drop shipping, but I don't touch inventory. I don't ship inventory. I don't handle inventory. I don't store inventory. I don't need an office. I don't need a warehouse. Like, you guys are literally looking at my office. I operate tens of thousands of units of inventory in this office right here. France is also one of those countries where you're able to sell from the US. I have a student in France as well. What up, Giorgio? It's good to see you. Product been live for a little over a month. ACOS over the last 17 days is 75%. Am still in the ranking phrase where I have spent a bit more on ads. What is your performance on your phrase campaigns? Maria, thank you so much for the follow. Oops, trying to scroll down. Appreciate you. Satch, thank you for the follow. Appreciate both of you and everyone who's in the live. The product I found this time meets all of the criteria you teach to found a winning product. Nice, celebrity. Do you have potential to create a strong differentiator for that product? Because that's going to be a really big key as well. So how do you get this done? I need to start making some money like yesterday. One thing that I always want to make sure that I'm transparent about, Satch, is you're not going to start this business and start printing money next week. You actually have to reinvest back into the business, probably like 3 to 4 reorders. So like place an order, sell, reinvest, place another order, reinvest, sell, place another order, reinvest, sell. And like usually by your 3rd to 5th order, if you have a successful and profitable business, is when you can start taking profits from that. So that could be anywhere from 6 to 12 months. You're going to be making money. You're going to be profitable, assuming that it's a good product and you're doing everything right. But you're not going to put that money into your personal bank account and paying yourself. What about all the legal and corporate paperwork things that nobody speaks about? I think, were you the one who left a comment on one of my videos? There was somebody who said that there's not all this legal and corporate paperwork. Number one, you can start as a sole proprietor, which is linked to your SSN. So let's break it down. What do you need to create an Amazon account? A tax ID number. So that's either an LLC EIN number or your SSN number, right? So that's not corporate paperwork. And even an LLC, that's my 12-year-old cousin can figure out how to create an LLC. So LLC, a phone number, an internationally chargeable credit card, your name and address, bank account details, trying to see if I'm missing anything, and a valid government ID. All of that you can start with, and none of that is all the legal and corporate paperwork. So I don't know what you're referring to, but it's not, unless you maybe heard that from somewhere else, but outside of the LLC, you really don't need all of this legal and corporate paperwork. Now, also, once you hit 10K in sales on Amazon, you do have to get liability insurance. Any insurance company will do that, and it'll be like anywhere from like 50 to $100 a month. So it's not like this huge list of like legal documents and stuff like that. Good morning. What's good, Sheep? Good to see you. CW, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate you. How many distributors have like WhatsApp group and some have Telegram channels? Do you think those are fake? I don't do wholesale factory. I'm contacting manufacturers directly because I'm creating my own branded products. I meant like my product is still ranking in the ranking phase where I have to get ad sales to rank organically. I don't know if you watched my video on Data Dive, bro, but I would definitely check that out. How long it will take from the moment you decide to search for a manufacturer to launch date? Anywhere from 3 to 6 months, Sarah. 6 months. I don't even like saying 6 months. I'm going to change my answer. I'm going to say 3 to 5 months is probably more of an average. Yes, added a bonus item, ordered 100 units to test. Nice. Or am I past that now and I have to start seeing what's wrong with ACOS? I don't know if I explained that well. If you're not, are you ranked on page 1 for any of your keywords? I have a website, but how do I sell on Amazon? I have a seller account, never used it. I have a lot of videos on how to do this, Joanne, how to create an account, how to list a product, how to ship your products, all of those on TikTok or my YT channel. But yeah, you would make sure that your seller account was active, make sure that it's verified and everything. Then you would list your product on that seller account. And if you were doing FBA, which I always recommend, which stands for Fulfilled by Amazon, you would send your inventory to Amazon's fulfillment centers. And then you would start pushing for reviews, drive. Can I start this at 16 to be successful and go all in? You need a parent or legal guardian for that because you have to be 18. Brother, my Vine is messed up and seller support just tells me to keep waiting, bro. And I got 2 reviews. How many reviews did you submit? My ads are eating all my profit. So remember, it's not the yes, directly the ads are taking your profit, but it's not the ads' fault. I know you've heard me say this, Musa, but if you're getting clicks on your PPC ads, the ads are doing its job. Ads are there to drive traffic. Your product listing, your product, your reviews, your price, that's what sells your product. Sarah, thank you so much for the follow. When do you advise to get liability insurance? You could either get it right away or once you hit 10K in sales, because once you hit 10K in sales, Amazon will require it. Yes, but what you just mentioned, it's for the USA. How can the overseas person do that if they live in the EU? It's the same process, CW. You would need whatever is a valid tax ID number in your country, and then all the other things that I just mentioned still apply. So still not a bunch of legal paperwork like you were originally talking about. I'm like 860 sales rank in my category. Don't focus on your category sub rank, Musa. Really just focus on your organic rank. What country is your supplier located in? Majority in China, some India, some Pakistan, some in the USA. How much do you recommend purchasing for someone who is just starting out? When you're getting your first test run order, Alma, it's going to be a test run order of 100 to 300 units to get something called a proof of concept on the product. So that is what I would recommend. Barry, thank you for sharing the live. Only organically rank for one keyword near the bottom of page 1. That's a start, bro. That's a start. Now try to start pushing more PPC, assuming you have a decent conversion towards that keyword, and then maybe start with another few keywords. You'd want it in the US sheep. What up, Alex? Do you promote your products on other platforms? Shopify, TikTok Shop, Walmart online, but I really only talk about Amazon. Amazon is like the bread and butter. Robert, what's good, bro? How is Accelerate going? Sorry that I couldn't make it, brother. And also, I will owe you a response. I know you texted me yesterday, but I'll get to that. It was a hectic day yesterday. Had some family stuff going on. The odd thing is I barely get any ad sales for that keyword I'm organically ranked on. What would you say your conversion rate on that is? And Alma, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate you. And everybody in the live vibing, asking questions. Make sure y'all keep the questions going while we wait for some more. Saeed, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate you as well, my friend. Maybe I should start going live at different times, huh? But while we're waiting for questions, and Alex, thank you for sharing the live. I posted a few really gem videos today. I'll be posting a couple more after I get off live. Last video, why I failed selling this Amazon product and how to avoid that mistake that I made. what good product images look like on Amazon and what bad product images look like on Amazon. Got it. Not gonna lie, selling in the USA is kind of fun. Feels like I'm doing something unheard of. Yeah, bro. I mean, I bet, especially like where you're from, telling people that you have a business that's operating in the US, I'm sure like they're like, how do you do that? That they trip out a little bit, which is really cool. Definitely. Make sure y'all keep dropping your questions down below. The more questions that we get, the better the lives always are. And I don't know if y'all noticed, but I'm sure that like people learn when other people ask questions. Like it might not be a question that's at the forefront of your mind. Somebody else asks it and you're like, oh, nice. Good that I know that now. Do you use AI and other apps to create pictures for your products? No, I don't think AI is quite there yet. Like AI can make really good pictures, but I don't think geared for Amazon. My CVR for that keyword is 1.35. That's a really good CVR, but what's your conversion rate? Question, answer. I got an answer. Also, how's the connection today? If the manufacturer is selling the product I want for 22, what is the lowest price I can reasonably offer? What would be a good price to negotiate? There's not like a one size fits all. Like I can't say like, oh, $16 is the lowest they'll go, because every manufacturer is going to be different. But I always negotiate. Like if a manufacturer's original price is 22, I have never paid the price that they originally offer. I always negotiate it down. You really need to calculate what you need the price to be based on what you want to sell the product for. You almost have to reverse engineer it. Yeah, I explained it to a restaurant owner once and he was shocked of how it worked. That's dope, Sheep. Sheep, how did you even get into Amazon, bro? Can you look at my Amazon book? I mean, I can look at it, but not necessarily give recommendations. If you want to drop it in the chat, I'll look at it. I don't give recommendations to people on directly on their product unless they're in the mentorship. Wouldn't 1.35 be the conversion rate, or am I not getting something? Are you looking at CVR, click-through rate? I mean, sorry, CTR? Is that what you just said? Did you say CVR or CTR? If CVR is 1.3%, that's a terrible conversion rate. If your click-through rate, oh yeah, that's a terrible conversion rate. And I don't mean to say that in a mean way, but that just really is that means for every 100 clicks, you'd get like one sale. No need to spam Saeed. It doesn't make me get to the question. Yeah, Saeed, please don't spam in the live, bro. There's actually nothing that I dislike more than when people spam. No, it's actually not the same, Janice, but if you have general questions without me analyzing your product, I'd be more than happy to help. That's what it's nice to help people. My time is valued at over more than $1,500 an hour. So I spend an hour every day on live answering people's questions. So if you have questions, feel free to answer them or to ask them. But it's kind of like a slap in the face to my students who pay for direct access to me. Meanwhile, I'll just audit somebody's listing on the live for free. So, I mean, you don't have to agree with it. You can ask general questions and I'll answer them. But yeah, that's just that's the way we do things here. I want to sell on Amazon. What tips do you offer? I mean, I have videos on every single step when it comes to selling on Amazon. So that's a pretty general question. I have a lot of tips. I have thousands of tips. So if Amazon shuts down tomorrow, you still have this value? Well, yeah, because I sell my products outside of Amazon and I have pretty good marketing experience. We sell our products on Shopify, TikTok Shop, Walmart online. And also, Amazon's not going to shut down tomorrow. Like, I can appreciate the hypothetical, but if Amazon ever shuts down, we have much bigger problems in the world than just Amazon shutting down. Like, that's how big of a company it is. It's almost like saying, what if the internet shuts down? Could, probably is not going to. And if the internet shuts down across the world, then we have a much bigger issue at hand than the internet shutting down. I mean, sure. And tomorrow I could walk outside and the sky can be red and I can see pigs flying. Playing hypotheticals doesn't do anything positive. So yeah, like I said, Amazon shuts down, we have much bigger problems in the world than Amazon shutting down. Yeah, maybe. Okay, bye. Later, Saeed. So you're basically strict for no reason. Nope. I have video. I mean, I don't even feel like this is worth time arguing about. It kind of seems like a scenario where you just don't like the answer that you were given, so you want to argue with that answer. But do I even continue this topic or do I not? But yeah, just kind of like Sarah mentioned, it's not fair to the people who are paying a price and then I just go audit somebody else's listings. I have thousands. I actually don't think I'm strict because I have thousands, literally thousands of videos going over all of my strategies, all of my things like that, like my failures, my wins, how I won, my product criteria, how I do product research, how I negotiate, how I contact manufacturers, updates to Amazon. I go live every single day. So if you have a question about Amazon, awesome. I'm happy to answer it. Very happy to answer it. That's why I do these lives. But if you just want to berate the way that I do things, then there's really not much to talk about. That's true. Well done, bro. You made it out. Yes, sir. Started this journey sleeping on my best friend's couch. Why do you need liability insurance after 10K? It's a way that Amazon essentially protects themselves and you protect your business. You were saying, yeah, sorry, Sunny. I skipped over the question, but I did just answer it, bro. I hope that answers your question. Can you do this as a side hustle? It'll start as a side hustle. Like you can do this while you're working a full-time job. I started like that. I know multiple people who have started like that. But you should not treat the business like a side hustle. You treat it like a real business because that's what it is. Does that make sense, Sammy? How long have you been doing this? Since January 2019. You run Amazon ads? Yes, I do. I consider myself one of the best when it comes to Amazon PPC ads. What about those that are still in school? Yes, 100%. I have students right now, like one of my students who's doing I think he's doing 10 to 15K a month right now. He is a full-time student, which is pretty cool. What's the first product success rate you think? For your average beginner, 50%. For somebody who has a more in-depth strategy, probably much higher. Probably closer to 70%. Isn't that $6 per click even if the person doesn't buy? No. Not a single product that I sell has a $6 cost per click. Every keyword in every category is different. I have I don't sell products that have more than $1.50 cost per click. And I my newest product that I just launched, I pay at most 90 cents a click. How does the process work if you dare not to mind me asking? I like how that was worded. Okay, don't mind me asking. I like the way it was worded the first time. But Sammy, so step one is going to be creating an Amazon seller account. Step two is going to be getting a product research software, something like Helium 10 or Data Dive, having a good product criteria and finding a potential product to sell. I have lots of videos on those exact strategies, including the criteria that I use for products. And then you would want to start contacting manufacturers, getting negotiating, getting samples, narrowing it down to your top manufacturers. Then you would place an order, and these are the main steps. There's a few things in between that you would do as well. And then you would want to create a product listing before you placed a bulk order to make sure the product doesn't need any extra approvals. Then you would create a shipment so that you can send your products directly from Amazon's fulfillment centers, from your manufacturer to Amazon's fulfillment centers. And then from there, wait for the product to arrive. Then you're going to start pushing for reviews, running PPC ads, and start selling the product. After further review, my exact campaign, single keyword campaign has a poor conversion rate. I know I've probably asked you this multiple times, bro, but how many reviews do you have? I think 13? After further review, I answered that. If you have already answered, please disregard this. If I get down to $15 from 22, do you think that's a good price to pay? So it's not based on what's a good price to pay. I would first need to know what your selling price is, what your FBA fees are, what the dimensions of your product is, because you're going to reverse engineer it, Sarah. So let's say that you were okay, my product is 10 by 10 by 5 inches and 3 pounds or whatever. And you're I want to sell it on Amazon for $49.99. Then, so you would have those baseline numbers, and then you would work it in reverse. Okay, for me to be at a 30% profit margin, I need to get my cost of goods down to this price, and I need my shipping to be this price. And then you start negotiating based on that. But whenever the keyword is in automatic campaign, it was a way better CTR. It's because Amazon has different ad placements. So I would look into your placements tab and see where were those ads being shown versus your exact match campaign. Because maybe you convert better at rest of search than you do product pages. Is it similar to drop shipping? No. Yes and no. Not really. There are some similarities, but they're completely different business models, Sammy. I've already talked to enough trolls on this live. Let's entertain one more. Jesus, let's make a deal, brother. This is an opportunity of a lifetime since you think I'm lying. I send you DM me. I've made this offer about 10 or 15 times. Not once have I received a DM back about it. So you DM me if you want to take me up on this offer. I send you a contract. That contract states, and once we sign the contract, you have to send an ID and everything. I'll have my lawyers write it up. I'll give you access to see my sales live on Amazon, right? Not just this account, all the accounts. If I'm lying, and we'll have this written in contract for the state of Wyoming, because that's where my businesses operate out of. If I'm lying, I wire you $10,000. But if I'm not, and my numbers match, you wire me $10,000. And then I donate it to everybody in the live. So they get to enjoy somehow that I do a giveaway for 10K. If you want, take me up on that offer. I'll wait for your DM. Like I said, I've given this offer maybe 15 times. Not once have I ever gotten a DM back. So you let me know. I don't want to see no more comments in the chat other than, okay, I'll DM you. So you let me know, brother. You let me know. I think that's a great deal. A $10,000 opportunity. You're a funny sheep. I like that. Is your product acquisition affected by the tariffs right now? No. Tariffs have not affected me at all. And the reason that I say that is you don't pay the tariffs to your manufacturer. If you're doing DDP shipping from a freight forwarder, you would be paying that on the shipping side, right? I used to pay like $1.50-ish, like maybe that was like the max per kilogram, because that's how we calculate our shipping, before the tariffs were implemented. That's including any customs, all of that good stuff. I now pay 60 cents to 90 cents per kilogram DDP, including everything, after the tariffs were implemented. So I've dialed in a lot of things on shipping. Do you have a mentorship program? I do, Sammy. In the TikTok bio, the Harvard of Amazon FBA private label education. How many Amazon accounts can you have at the same time? Technically one. Amazon will actually flag both of your accounts if you try to create a second one. They do give some exceptions to people, and then allegedly there are ways around that. How much should I start with? I'd say 3 to 6K USD. It depends on the product that you're launching and how many units you're starting with. Sign the contract, little boy. Sign the contract. You're funny sheep. That's the comment that made me chuckle earlier. We're in an economic collapse. Nice, bro. Keep reading the news. Business has been booming. My sales are up 32% year over year, and I don't sell a necessity product. But yeah, man, just keep listening to the news. Maybe we're in an economic collapse for if you have a 9-to-5 job, but if you create a business of value, Amazon, Walmart, Domino's Pizza, like these businesses are still making money. EP on your wrist, wouldn't sign the contract if I saw that. You're funny, bro. Nobody let me know about this economic collapse. I think it's a lot of fear mongering. Like when the tariffs happened, people were like, "Oh, the tariffs are going to be the end of e-commerce." Nope. During 2020, the pandemic, world shuts down. People were like, "Oh my gosh, it's going to be so bad." And it was bad for a lot of people, and I'm not trying to discredit that. Like some people, like they did lose their jobs, and that's very unfortunate. In 2020, not in terms of sales numbers, but in terms of percentage growth, I had the biggest percentage growth that I saw year over year on my business. Like we had maybe like 2-3 weeks where things were really slow and then just took off. So yeah, if you listen to the news, maybe things are feeling hectic, but if you create your own bubble, things aren't as hectic. What's your story if you don't mind? I do not mind. I love talking about it. Graduated high school 2017. I'm not going to tell my whole life story. Don't worry. It'll be a somewhat briefish story. Graduated high school 2017. Didn't plan on going to college. Wasn't an A+ student. Was a party kid. Even after high school, doing the most, going to raves, doing things that people do at the raves. Bunch of, I can't say the word, but I'll call them vices. Lots of vices. No direction. And I ended up going to work for my cousins at their warehouse. I was making $13 an hour. I had left home at 18, yeah, because of some family drama that had happened. So I was sleeping on my best friend's couch at his college apartment, sleeping on his couch, working for my cousins, Did not have a car because I failed the driving test like 5 times. No, not literally 5 times. It was like 2 or 3 times. No car, no license. I would get driven or picked up for work. Like either my cousins would pick me up for work, or they'd send me an Uber, or my best friend would take me to work. Rock bottom, paying $300 a month to sleep on my best friend's couch, right? And then one day, I was working for my cousin's Amazon business, and I was kind of learning the ins and outs of how Amazon worked. And I also wanted to be a rapper, by the way. That's a fun part of the story. I was about to go get a loan for 70 G's, 70 bands to go to LA recording school, which I like to mention this part of the story. How many famous rappers do you know went to college for it? And my cousin saw the position that I was in, and they kept trying to convince me, hey, you should sell on Amazon. Hey, you should sell on Amazon. We'll teach you. We will help you. All these things. And I was reluctant at first. I was like, no, I'm going to be a rapper, yo. And then I decided, you know what? Let's do it. And so I decided to start, and that was around later in 2018. And so I start going through the process. They helped me with product development. They taught me how to do product research, all of these things. And so like around September, October, November, December of 2018, I was working on the Amazon business, finding manufacturers, getting samples, all that good stuff. And then January 1st, 2019, I launched my very first Amazon product, and my life completely changed after that. Roy, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate you. Lost, thank you for sharing the live. He fought with tigers to get where he is now, becoming the Lion King. Bro, you're making me laugh today, Sheep. That was a good one. Yeah, that was great. I like that one. No, but I really did. I really was fighting. It was an uphill battle. That's why I don't like when people, and nobody in this live, I'm not talking about anyone here, but like generally, that's why I don't like when people sit and blame the circumstances. We're in an economic collapse. Oh, but I don't have the time, or I can't do this, or I can't do that. But what about this? Or this could go wrong, or this can happen. Stop making excuses and just do it. If you want to do something, do it. If you want to make excuses for something, then you clearly don't want to do it. What are some of the products that you sell? I don't share the exact products, Sarah, because I'm like, here's how much money I make on Amazon. Here are the products that I sell. Like it doesn't, I wouldn't do that. But home decor products, health and household products, office products, baby products, toys and games. Those are like my top categories that I sell in. Wow, that's really cool, man. Hopefully I can get like you one day, bro. God willing, Sammy, God willing. There was 2 things that made me decide to start selling on Amazon. Number 1 was a video that my cousin showed me. It's still on YT today. It's titled, she makes $40K a month on Amazon at 23 years old. It's from a page called Project Life Mastery. And then one day at lunch, it was about noon, and my cousin showed me their sales for the day. And this is on one of their 2 Amazon accounts that they had at the time. And it was like $2,500 in sales. And I was just like, I'd never seen sales like that from somebody that I knew. Like, and also the internet, like the social media game wasn't what it was today. All these people flexing sales and stuff. So I had never really seen that. And I look at this video and I'm like, this girl looks like somebody I would have went to high school with, like not a Harvard business major, no fancy suit, no fancy business degree. I'm like, if she can do it, and if my cousins can do it, why can't I do it? I think that was a really important realization for me. So like Sammy, your comment, like hopefully I can get like you one day, bro. It is very possible because like I said, if I can do it, the party kid who had no direction in life, my cousins have a pretty sick story too, honestly. I think everyone will think this about like people that it's like if it's not other than themselves, but I think my cousins have a cooler story than I do. 10K likes. I have my invoice ready for you. Thanks, Alex. Appreciate you. What is your number one category? Health and household and home decor, home and kitchen. Thanks for that, man. Of course, Sammy. Keep hustling. My biggest piece of advice is just don't quit. Don't quit. Be resilient and tackle the challenges and adversity head on. It sounds kind of cliche, but I'm telling you, like, that is what it takes, because business isn't like a cakewalk. I didn't just like wake up and become successful. Creating my own cool story right now. Exactly. Be the author of each one of your own stories. I'm a big advocate, and this kind of contradicts itself, but I'm a big advocate of everybody has the potential to be a successful business owner, but then the contradicting part is not everybody was meant to be a successful business owner. The reason why everybody's not meant to is because a lot of people talk a big game. And again, not speaking of anybody in this live right now, just generally a majority of the population talks a big game. Oh yeah, I'll handle adversity. I'll go through all the challenges. I'll do this. I'm going to make it work no matter what. But then like the problems arise and they're like, oh, never mind. This is too hard for me. If my product got the number one new release badge, is that a sign of a good product? Yeah, it's a sign that you have good sales in the beginning, Rue. I'm going to go. I really appreciate what you had to say. Thanks again. Of course, Sammy, I got you. Yes, sir. I got one exact match campaign with a 5% CVR and 28% tacos. How much should I up my budget and or bid? I wouldn't necessarily up your bid, but unless you were trying to rank for that keyword and you were trying to get like top of search placement. But you could increase your budget. It depends. It depends if you're overall profitable or not. Like I would be a little hesitant to increase budgets if I was not profitable on ads yet. Is YT a good way to start FBA? Yes, I have lots of videos on YT, and I also have lots of videos on TikTok. Take advantage of the free resources that you guys have. Luke, what do you think of the new AI image generator Amazon themselves released for sellers? Not for me, bro. Not for me. I don't think I wouldn't let AI create my images yet. I've seen people do it and they come out pretty decent. Some of them perform well, but for me, it's not there yet. I know that one day it will be there, like at a point where you can just completely rely on AI for your images and stuff. I don't think we're quite there yet. I think in the next like year or two, we'll see it. You are really against AI images, I noticed. Yeah, man, I really am. I'm not, because I don't think that it'll be a viable solution or option soon. I do think it will be there. Right now, no. Like if I've probably had like 20 plus people over the last year talk to me about this and say that they did it. One of those 20 people, so 5%, one of those 20 people actually was successful with the AI images that they created. Now that's a very small sample size, but I would assume those numbers or similar numbers carry on throughout a larger sample size of people. So no, I wouldn't rely on AI quite yet. I'll let you guys know when I think that it's there, no doubt about it. Maybe 2026, 2027, I think that AI will be at a point where like you can use it for your Amazon images. Maybe making little tweaks would be okay, but no. I'm in a drought. What's good, noob? Let me know what's good, brother. What's going on? Let's talk about it. Also, noob, your video, I know it wasn't directed towards me, even though I did make a video about it, but your video about, what was it? People being like, you're like, I know that I shouldn't have launched 4 products. Like, get off my back. I thought that was, I had a nice, wasn't laughing at at your situation, but I definitely had a chuckle at that video. No sales in the last 3 to 4 days. Haha, I crashed out. All good, bro. We're human. Everybody crashes out at some point. So no sales the last 3 to 4 days. Noob, I would go watch my video on the data dive video that I posted yesterday. I think that could be really useful to you. And what it'll show you is like where you're ranking, where the competitors in your market are ranking, and help you navigate that situation a little bit better. Because right now I think that it's going to be I really do think like conversion and rank are your two biggest problems. Got to talk to the bank about that, Richie. Do I look like the bank? What up, bro? What's good, Robert? I saw you say what's up earlier. I don't know if you heard my response, but I hope Accelerate's going good. And yeah, sorry, I didn't get back to you yesterday. I had some family stuff going on, so I'll hit you up a little later today, brother. Getting 2 to 3 sales every day. Nice, Tor. That's amazing, bro. Congratulations. Absolute W. Thank you, bro. Of course, best platform to apply non-US residential trademark. Please help with answer. I don't get a trademark on a platform. I will just let a trademark attorney handle that for me. I have an in-house trademark attorney that I use nowadays, but there's also the IP Accelerator program. Hey, let's go, Noob. Appreciate you, brother. You're the GOAT. Basha was good, net. Also, Noob, I want just real quick, bro, to give you some flowers, brother. I think that it's really cool that you are putting, regardless of like what people will say in your comments and stuff like that. I think that it's admirable that you're putting yourself out there, even all of the mistakes that you're making. And I actually think that one day, because I think that you're going to keep trying until you get it right. I think one day you're going to look back on all of those videos and be, have a little laugh to yourself and be like, oh man, like I went through the trenches to get to where I am today. So I think that's really cool, bro. Block out all the noise. There's going to be people who are going to tell you like, oh, bro, you're doing terrible at business and all of this stuff, blah, blah, blah. No, man, everybody has their own struggles. Everybody has their own journey. So I actually think that it's quite admirable. Like, yes, I talk about all of my successes, but I didn't make content when I was going through the trenches back in the day. A lot of these bigger creators and sellers, like, they didn't make content when they were going through the trenches. So like everybody sees like, oh man, 7-figure, 8-figure seller, like they're crushing it. But like everybody went through the trenches, bro. I have trademark registered with USPTO. Yes, I guess I misspoke. You do it through the USPTO, but I don't do that myself. I'm not going on the USPTO and filing my trademark myself. I proxy that off to people, and I think that's a good way to like leverage your weaknesses, your skills, and other people's time. Like, I'm not a graphic designer. I know what a good Amazon image looks like, but I proxy that off to my, graphic design team. I am not a trademark attorney, so I proxy that off to a trademark attorney. I know how to do all of these things except the trademark. I don't think that I could file my own trademark, but I know how to do certain things like SEO, but I'm not even writing the SEO for my listings. What up, bro? What up, AK? Do you still hang out with Connor? I haven't seen you in any of his vids lately. Nah, bro, I haven't talked to him for probably over a year now. Trademark is easy, bro. Listen, that's outside of my forte, Robert. That is outside of my forte. I don't think I would try to file my own trademark if I'm being honest with you. I'm sure that it's simple, but definitely outside of my skill set. Are you doing any trainings for people anymore? Yeah, brother, I still have the AMZ Masterclass Mentorship, the Harvard of Amazon FBA private label education. As Shivi will tell you, I know my stuff. Hey, I believe it, Robert, for sure. Yeah, bro. Robert is a really cool dude. Robert, we definitely got to connect in person one day. I do feel really bad about the accelerate thing, man. But yeah, I did have some stuff come up. I'll explain a little bit more in detail on the when I text you. Does every product have to come from Alibaba? No, not at all. No explanation needed. Much love. Appreciate you, bro. How long did it take you to reach 10K a month in profit? 6 months. Yeah, about 6 months, which was pretty sweet. I had a very, and that's 6 months from my very first product launching on Amazon. Like January, 10K a month in top line revenue. Come June, I was doing a little over 30K a month top line revenue at a little over a 30% profit margin. Bro, speed ran it. Bro, I was blessed. Not everybody, like, results may vary. My total sales cost 5,000 in 2.5 years. Hey man, you're on the path, Tor. You're getting some consistent sales right now. So, a month in 2.5 months. Okay, I was gonna say, but regardless, even if it was 2.5 years, like right now, you're on the path. And 5K in 2.5 months, that's great, bro. You had a lot of things that you were trying to dial in. And I wouldn't say that Amazon was necessarily easier when I started. Like I think that they give people a lot of tools nowadays. And I think there was just as many competitors on page 1, 2, 3, 4 for the products that I was selling. But in 2019, you definitely could like throw random things at the wall and they would hit. Nowadays, like things like differentiation, adding value, your listing, SEO, I know that they made a little bit harder because of like, they implemented their AI systems, Rufus, and I'm blanking on the name of the other one. And these are like new ways that Amazon is going to go through and analyze the SEO. And I went AFK for a minute. How much you usually spend to rank on a competitive keyword? It's going to vary on each keyword net. But if I have a good conversion rate, I'll keep spending on it, even if my ACoS is a little bit higher. Because if my ACoS is a little bit higher, but my organic rank is increasing, that means that my tacos over time is going to start decreasing. So I'm really looking at those two levers. Is the rank climbing, and is my tacos dropping? And three levers actually, sorry. And is my conversion rate good? So if my conversion is good, or at least decent, it doesn't have to be at the category top. Excuse me. Oh my goodness, drinking carbonated stuff. If my conversion is at least decent, it doesn't have to be at the category top, and all of those other metrics are improving, then I would say that is a win in my book. Now, I think we've gotten like 6 comments today asking for money. Do I look like a Bank of America? What's going on? Y'all should go ask the bank for money, not me. Oh man. I know that some of them are trolls, but Do y'all really think that you're going to ask some random person on the internet for money and they're going to send it to you? I need 100K, bro. I got you, Robert. I'll send the wire after live. All right, y'all. If you want a more in-depth guide on all of these steps and to have me as your personal mentor along your entire journey, with my God, yes, I do believe it. I think God wants you to work hard too. I don't say that to be blasphemous. I say that as a fact. But if y'all wanted all the resources and tools that I have built for the students, y'all can see everything that is included here on your own time. I'm not going to bore you and read it all right now. And wanted to have me as a mentor, you would click yes, I want to apply. You would go through this very quick and easy questionnaire. Make sure you fill it out proper so that my onboarding coach, Adam, can best help you on the free clarity call that you get. Hide this part so I don't show you all my phone number and email. I'll start getting messages for loans. And if you qualify for the program, you will know that you qualify because you'll be taken to this page right here where you're going to be able to book a date and time to hop on a call with my onboarding coach, Adam. Adam speaks for me. If you guys don't qualify for the mentorship, you're not going to be brought to this page. You're actually going to be brought to my book that I wrote about selling on Amazon. So that's also a good option for beginners who didn't have like the funds to get into the mentorship. I go over some strategies in there as well. But on that note, everybody, I hope you have a blessed rest of your night. I will see you all, God willing, tomorrow. Can you link my card to your accounts for payouts? You're funny. How much is your book? Right now it's on sale for $20. It'll once we sell an X amount of units, it's going to go back up to 30. I'm working on my business cards today. Let's go, show. Let's go. Wishing you the best on that venture, my friend. Does everybody qualify? No. Majority of people will not qualify for the mentorship, Sarah, but definitely go and check it out. Can I get it by Friday? Yes, you can. Johnson, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate you. Good luck, show. You got this. Yes, sir. What are the requirements? Go through the application, Sarah, and you'll be able to see right there. You can also send me a message and I can give you a little bit more insight on it. But everybody, I hope you have a blessed rest of your night. I will see you all, God willing, tomorrow. Appreciate you.